Alright, what's good? What's good? Welcome back. So today, man, we have a blood gang member to NFL player. The story of Marqise Lee. Alright, so this guy, he played for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was a pretty good wide receiver when he was in college. But let's see what's up, man. Let's see what they got for us today. Here we go.
Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali.
Shout out to Warren Cali, man.
A detailed NFL player, Marqise Lee. Marqise was born on November 25th, 1991, and spent the majority of his life in Inglewood. And from the start, Marquise's life would be hard. Marqise was born to deaf parents who didn't raise him much of his life. Marqise had two older brothers and two sisters, but much of Marqise and his siblings' life, they would bounce between their grandma and several foster homes. And several times, this would lead to him and his siblings being separated. Got to a point where Marqise only seen his parents, grandmother, and siblings at court hearings. Marqise was so young that he didn't understand what was going on around him. One moment he was with his family, and the next he would be placed in different foster homes. Marqise was going through so much early on in his life, it would start to affect him in all aspects. He would be fighting in school and failing all his classes. But after a while, his life was somewhat improved, with being able to live with his siblings once again. Around the age of 9 years old, Marqise would be living in Inglewood and living in the Queen Street Bloods turf. The Queen Street Bloods are a gang that started in the 80s in Inglewood, which they got their name off a residential street in the area. With all the heavy gang activity going on in the area in the 2000s, the streets had people dying and shootings every day. So Marqise was going outside to a not safe community. Marqise seen a lot going outside in his community, from gang members hanging out, seeing them drinking, smoking, and selling drugs. With these type of influences around him, he thought this lifestyle was normal, and he looked up to the Queen Street Bloods a lot. He seen the money, and also seen a woman around. The biggest factor for Marqise, his big brothers Terrell and Dante were already a part of the Queen Street.
I can already see where this is going, man. Young man, born into an unfortunate situation. But somehow, some way he prevailed, you know what I'm saying? He managed to survive somehow. So let's continue. Let's see what's up.
Street Bloods. So he felt like a member already. One day when Marqise was around 9 or 10 years old, one of the older Bloods asked him did he want to join the gang, which he agreed to. This would lead to him fighting a high school member of the Streets in a one-on-one fight. Usually gangs initiate put-ons by having multiple people fight new potential members for their put-on, but with him only being around 10 years old, they thought a one-on-one fight would be fair. Marqise officially being in the gang, he got to hang out with the older boys, but with his older brothers having respect in the area, they didn't let him participate in any violent activity or even selling drugs. When Marqise was around 11 years old, he found a love for football. This would get coaches interested in having him on their Pop Warner teams. He would play for the Inglewood Jets. He became so known in the area, they started calling him the Jerry Rice of Inglewood. Football looked like a promising future for Marqise, but his reality was still bad. Marqise and his sister went back to live with their grandma, but this time, they will be staying in a motel in Inglewood. The motel was called King's Motel, and this motel was heavily infested with drug dealing, drug addicts, and prostitution. Marqise got close to his coaches and would try to stay away from going to the motel by staying nights at their homes. One day, Marquise's grandma would drop him and his sister off to his football coach's house. She would state that she didn't have enough money for a room and she would come back to get them later. But the only thing was, she never came back. This would lead to Marqise and his sister living with his coach and his wife for a while. 2006, tragedy would strike Marqise. When he was around 15 years old, his big brother Tyrell would be shot and killed. This would lead to his other brother Dante going to jail for life for a murder that he committed. Marqise would learn to bottle up his emotions and take it in stride. This made him go harder and want to make it out.
Bro.
Marqise would spend his freshman year of high school at Morningside High School in Inglewood, which was a heavily gang-infested high school. And for Marqise, he wanted better and a better opportunity to make it in football. So would get in contact with the dean of a school called Sarah in Gardena. The school was Catholic and had a good sports program, so it took a lot of convincing to be let in. Once he started going to Sarah, Marqise became fast friends with another boy at the school named Steve. Steve came from a good two-parent home and Marqise loved being at his house. After being over there so much, they allowed him to move in. At Sarah, Marqise would become a star athlete, playing multiple sports and being well known on the football field as well as the basketball court. His passion and drive pushed him to go up and beyond everybody else, and he demanded the same from everybody else around him. Keith's passion was so much, he would fight teammates and even threaten them if they wasn't playing at a high level or he thought they was being soft. This would get him into anger management. Even with that, his play on the field was so great, it gained him a scholarship to play football at USC. Marqise would have 3 successful seasons at USC. He finished his freshman season with 73 receptions for over 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. For Marquise's sophomore season, he finished the season with 118 catches for over 1,700 yards and 14 touchdowns.
Killing it.
And was named the 2012 Pac-12 Conference Offensive Player of the Year. In Marquise's last season at USC, he played in only 11 games and recorded 57 catches for 791 yards and 4 touchdowns. January 3rd, 2014, Marqise announced his decision to forego his senior season and enter the 2014 draft. During his 3-year career with USC, he's finished with 248 catches for 3,655 yards and also 29 touchdowns. The Jacksonville Jaguars selected Marqise in the 2nd round with the 39th overall pick of the 2014 NFL Draft. On June 16, 2004, Marqise signed a 4-year deal worth $5 million, including $3.8 million guaranteed.
That's not bad.
Marqise finished his rookie season with 37 catches for 422 yards and 1 touchdown in 13 games and 8 starts. The 2015 season was hampered by injuries for Marqise. He only had 15 catches for 190 yards with limited action. 2016 will be Marquise's most successful season, with 63 catches for 851 yards and 3 touchdowns in 16 games and also 6 starts. He also returned 18 kickoffs for 545 yards and also a touchdown. Marqise finished the 2017 season with 56 catches for 702 yards and 3 touchdowns in 14 games and 14 starts. March 13, 2018, the Jaguars signed Marqise to a 4-year, $38 million contract. On August 25, 2018, in the 3rd preseason game, Marqise suffered a severe knee injury and had to undergo season-ending surgery. Marqise will never be the same after this injury. He will miss the whole 2019 season being injured. The Jaguars will release him in 2020.
Dang.
A little bit different.
Right in the pandemic, too.
Trying to avoid injuries, which is, of course, not an easy thing. And 2, as a follow-up to that, how frustrating is it to be in this position, to try to have to prove yourself, even though you're like a 6-7-year veteran, so to speak?
I mean, it is what it is as far as we know what we signed up for as far as football comes. Yeah, it's a difficult thing to come back from as far as the injuries and things like that, but we knew what we signed up for when we decided to play the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can try to do as much as you can to prevent injuries, just a lot out there that you can do. But in all honesty, it's football. Injuries come all type of ways, non-contact and contact. So you just got to be prepared to bounce back from it in all honesty. And then as far as my situation goes, like I said, it is what it is. Like, with some of our backgrounds and where some of us came from, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not the hard part. You know what I'm saying? Like, me having to battle.
It ain't the hard part. That's crazy.
Position for me, you know what I'm saying?
That's real, though.
Doing all my life, so it's just part of something I've been doing. So
Marqise would decide to sit out the 2020 season with COVID concerns. Marqise will later sign deals with the New England Patriots and also the San Francisco 49ers, but both situations wouldn't work out, and Marqise will be out the league by 29 years old. Even though Marquise's career didn't work out the way he wanted, he still made it far from where he came. This is Marqise Lee's story.
All right, so that was Marqise Lee's story. Shout out to Warren Cali. Dang, man, it's crazy. From birth, man, he had issues, bro. As soon as he reached a certain age, man, his mom wasn't there, his father wasn't there. He had nobody. The person that he had left him, abandoned him, and look where he's at today. You know what I'm saying? A millionaire. I'm pretty sure he's doing well. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he's trying to get it back into the league because, bro, 29 years old, you're still in your prime. I think you're still in your prime in your 30s, your early 30s, so you still got some football left in him. But yeah, man, that's one hell of a story. If you guys want me to react more to stuff like this in terms of stories, let me know. And follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Anyways, thanks for the love.